All right. Do we have any other questions across?
Was the food issue really bad before you opened up the greenhouses in Churchill?
Great question. I think it's there was options there in Churchill to be able to find food options. When I was mentioning before the rail, the washout of the rail lines had meant that the food prices went up quite in a short period of time. It went up quickly because it had to be all flown in, and so there were still options on the at the stores there, though the challenge was the freshness, right? Because it has to travel so long to be able to get to these communities. By the time it reaches the store shelves, it's quite old, right? Not just a matter of days, but a matter of weeks. And so there was a lot of spoilage as a result. But with having a local option, you're talking about just a couple of days rather than a couple of weeks. And we were able to, with Carly, she was able to reduce the price in the community. So, yes and no. I think there are some supports through the government to help reduce some of the costs. But there's still a long ways to go to help ensure that all Canadians can have access to fresh and affordable food, for sure.
And what I love about this idea is that it gives the power back to the community to create and produce their own food. Because yes, while there is a government subsidy to help lower the price, that's not really a long-term solution, right? You can't just keep throwing money at really high food prices forever. Yeah, this is like, we'll solve the problem with maybe a higher investment up front, but in the end, it'll be much more financially feasible for everyone.
Yeah, and the subsidies sometimes don't always work the way they're intended, and we like to say that our technology, like you mentioned, helps bring the power back and have that option so that it's not just the profit stays within the community, and being able to keep that to help build capacity in the job creation, right? And so that people can learn new skills in horticulture that may not have been there previously, while also being able to keep that within their local community, which is something we are excited to see happen there.
Yes, I love everything about it. It makes perfect sense. I'm so excited that you're doing this and that we found you through a video and that you were in Ottawa and that you could join us today. That was amazing. I love it. Does anyone have any last minute questions? Or should we wrap up? You know what we're doing next?
Before you came here, before you went to Churchill, did they not know about greenhouses?
That's a great question. I think they would have, right? The center that we worked with was a research center, so they would have had a good understanding of different types of technologies. I'm not sure if they had a local greenhouse before we joined. I don't believe they did. But I think our type of technology in a shipping container was relatively new for the team that we worked with there.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. They, of course, knew about greenhouses as a concept, but how to get a greenhouse in that environment is probably something,
right,
that they might not have known about. We also watched a video earlier in the week from some students from Ryerson a couple years ago who did the igloo-shaped greenhouse. Yeah, so that's another idea. And I was trying to find more info on that and if it kind of had kept up. And I wasn't successful, but I'll keep looking. Yeah, but your model just seems perfect and something that can, because the idea of like research projects too, they kind of have an end date. If somebody does it as a research project, well, when the course is done or funding runs out, but this one you've set it up so that it can keep going, and I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, the goal is hopefully that it is self-sustaining, so that it encourages that it continues to operate and help provide the community with fresh food for a longer period of time.
Yes. Yeah. And then we need to move into off the grid housing and better housing than what's up there, and solar and wind and so much we can do. I love it. Did you have another?
There's no No, I was just going to say there's no shortage of challenges that need to be fixed, for sure.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do with this group of world changing kids, is plant all these idea seeds now, give them all the knowledge and tools, and let them believe in the art of possibility, and then go out there and change the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then we can do something about all these problems.
yes, exactly. Because we need you guys to do it.